Hello and good day, welcome to our YouTube channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be Book of Revelation, Chapter 6. Let's get started now. The Book of Revelation, Chapter 6 describes the opening of the first 6 seals on the scroll that John saw in his vision of the heavenly throne room. Each seal represents a different aspect of God's plan for the end of the age. The first seal is opened, and John sees a white horse with its rider holding a bow and a crown. This rider represents conquest and victory. The lesson we can learn from this is that God is in control of history and will ultimately bring about his victory over evil. As believers, we can have confidence in God's plan for our lives and trust in his ultimate triumph over all that opposes him. The second seal is opened, and John sees a red horse with its rider holding a sword. This rider represents war and conflict. The lesson we can learn from this is that our world is full of strife and turmoil. As Christians, we are called to be peacemakers and to seek reconciliation in our relationships with others. We must also be vigilant and pray for peace in our world. The third seal is opened, and John sees a black horse with its rider holding a pair of scales. This rider represents famine and scarcity. The lesson we can learn from this is that we must be good stewards of the resources that God has given us. We must use our time, talent, and treasure to serve others and to share the blessings we have received. We must also be mindful of those who are suffering from hunger and poverty, and seek ways to alleviate their suffering. The fourth seal is opened, and John sees a pale horse with its rider named Death, followed by Hades. This rider represents death and the grave. The lesson we can learn from this is that death is a reality for all of us. As believers, we have the hope of eternal life through Jesus Christ, who has conquered death and the grave. We must live each day with the knowledge that our time on earth is limited and that we must use it wisely to serve God and others. The fifth seal is opened, and John sees the souls of martyrs who have been slain for their faith. They cry out to God for justice, asking when their blood will be avenged. The lesson we can learn from this is that God cares about justice and righteousness. As Christians, we must stand up for what is right and just and advocate for those who are oppressed and marginalized. We must also be prepared to suffer for our faith, knowing that God will ultimately vindicate us. The sixth seal is opened, and John sees a great earthquake and other cosmic disturbances. People are filled with fear and dread, and they hide in caves and rocks. The lesson we can learn from this is that we must be ready for the return of Jesus Christ. His return will be a time of great upheaval and change, and we must be prepared to meet him. We must also share the message of salvation with others, so that they too may be ready for his return. In conclusion, Revelation chapter 6 teaches us important lessons about God's control over history, the reality of strife and conflict in our world, the need to be good stewards of our resources, the reality of death and the hope of eternal life, the importance of standing up for justice and righteousness, and the need to be ready for the return of Jesus Christ. By applying these teachings to our day-to-day lives, we can grow in our faith and become the people God has called us to be. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.